I want to send people to the site from YouTube, sign up to a free course, which emails and unlocks a lesson every day. Today, we are going to answer a question from Jenny in the Facebook group who is just getting started with Highlevel, and she just wants the very basics. Opt in from a YouTube, grant course access, and upsell people to something else. Jenny, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Hi, my friends. Welcome. It's Patrick from Stop Doing Nothing Media, and today we're going to take a user question from the Highlevel Facebook group. There's a great lady in there named Jenny Kopok, C-O-P-P-O-K. I apologize, Jenny, if I mispronounced your name, but trust me, charge it to my head, not to my heart. I want to help you out today. So we're going to run through what you want to do by recapping your questions, and I will walk you through how to do this in Highlevel, okay? You've got this, girlfriend. Okay, let's go. First of all, Jenny's initial post says, I'll be starting GHL, Highlevel, next week to create courses. I've used Kajabi and Udemy. I've never used that one. Not going to lie, I'm feeling a bit daunted by the amount of capabilities of GHL. Anyone have any YouTube recommendations to get started? Where do you think you are? I want to send, this is what she wants to accomplish, okay? I want to send people to the site from YouTube, sign up to a free course which emails unlocks a lesson every day. Then use that free course to promote the premium version with more features. I want to build a Facebook community with it as well. Courses, email, sales funnel from YouTube, and possibly ads, but mostly YouTube to start with. Okay, Jenny, let's walk through how you're going to do this. First of all, welcome to the Highlevel community. I'm sorry you had to deal with all those other products in the past, but hey, you're here now, girlfriend. You're in the real world, okay? You're in the good world, excuse me, not real world. You're in the good world. So let's walk through what you need to get this started. Okay, let's think about this again. I want to send people to the site from YouTube. Sign up to a free course, which unlocks a new lesson every day. Break it down. I want to send people to the site from YouTube, sign up for a free course. Let's stop right there. Okay, as you can see on my screen here, I am in Highlevel. And the way you're going to get somebody to opt in for something is by building a form, embedding that form on a web page, and then you can then grant them access to things. So over here in Highlevel, what I would do is I would go to Sites, Forms, I would add a form, start from scratch. There are plenty of ways to do this. This is the Patrick way. Starting from scratch. At the top here, we're going to name this our Jenny form. And I like to number things, so I'm going to call this my form 001. I like to number things for documentation purposes. I'm going to clean this up to be very simple. You know what we need here? Bare minimum. We can grab all kinds of things. Let's just worry about the email address. Okay, Jenny? That's all we need. Click on button here. This button's going to say on the right-hand side, you could say here, get my free, cool Jenny course. Okay? Save it here in the upper right-hand corner. And to tell you the truth, for that right there in the form, that's really all you need. As you can see, you can customize a lot here, but this video is going to walk you through building an MVP, a minimum viable product. Okay, so I'm going to do the absolute bare minimum, because what you want to do with tools like this is build the absolute bare minimum, get it out there in the market, and while your marketing's doing its thing, like as you said, then iterate and improve, because all this stuff is etched in jello. You can change whenever you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So Patrick's doing a quick recap. I like my form name. I like my form number. I don't have any little orange dot up in the upper right-hand save corner. So a lot of people, what they would do here is they would just grab the form link, right, and share that. Do not ever do that in Highlevel, because now you need a page for this form, Jenny. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do if you haven't done it, not the first thing, obviously there's lots of first things, is make sure back in settings and domains, you've got a domain purchased and ready to go. If you don't have a domain, we're going to walk through that a little bit also, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. After you built your form, you need to put that form on a page. So I'm going to come over here to funnels. I'm going to create a new funnel, and again, I like to number everything, so I'm going to call this my funnel 00. Look, do I have a funnel 1? Yeah, we're going to call this funnel 2. This is my Jenny funnel. Right? Create that. And again, remember, we're going for the absolute bare minimum of functionality here. Okay, Jenny? You can make it pretty all you want. Patrick's not here to make it pretty today. Patrick's here to help it make money. So as Highlevel builds the editing experience here, which should not be taking this long. Come on, Highlevel, don't embarrass me here. Why is it taking so long? Because I'm recording. That's why it's taking so long. I wish I had a good joke here, like, what do you do with an elephant with 3 balls? Oh, you walk him and pitch to the rhino. That's my bad joke of the day. Okay, really quick. I don't know what's going on with Highlevel, but I'm going to reload that page real quick. And I'm going to add my very first step. Jenny, as you always been, again with the opt-in. Okay. Notice at this point, I don't have a domain tied to this funnel. I'm just bare bones building the funnel right there. So there's my step 1. Goodness gracious, Highlevel, where are you being a pain today? I added a step, right? Let's try that again. This page is the opt-in page, and we're going to create that step. Man, what is going on with Highlevel today? Okay, there it is. Not sure what's going on. It's software. It's going to act finicky. And right now, I'm going to add a confirmation step. Also, just to get ready for it. Confirmation. Because of course, oh, you know what? There's my opt-in page showing up now. So Highlevel's losing its mind a little bit today. You know what? Don't fret. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Okay, we're going to just worry about the opt-in step for now. I'm going to create from blank. By the way, there are a bunch of templates there when you can create from pre-existing. Feel free to use those. I'm more of a create from scratch guy. I'm going to use a wide layout here. And you know what? Highlevel, what the heck is going on with you today? You're being moody while I'm recording, and Patrick doesn't like to record multiple times. So let's try this again. Why? Okay, adding a row. Again, this works like any other basic page editor. You've got sections, which are green. You've got rows, and you've got columns. So in this section here, I'm going to add a 2-column row, Jenny, and I'm going to add an element here on the right-hand side, which is my form, okay? And what am I going to pick? I'm going to pick my Jenny form right there, okay? There it is. Now, of course, you're going to do stuff over here on the left-hand side, like add headlines, add subheadlines, add in cool graphics. Let's find an image here. Let's add an image here at the top. Let's drop a cool image. Actually, you know what? We're going to drop in an image that I just generated this morning for another purpose. So upload the image, appears there. Jenny, I'm going to let you do all the marketing there. By the way, one of the cool tricks that somebody taught me is that oftentimes your columns end up being centered, and I want my columns all top aligned. So pick the column. Columns are purple, right? And to get that top aligned, you have to go down to content spacing here and pick left. I know it's really weird, but you got to do it. And of course, you can style the dickens out of this. My main point with this, though, is you always embed a form on a page. You don't link to the form directly. Okay, so we've got that. All I can do in the upper right-hand corner here right now is save. I can't publish because I don't have a domain connected. The domain connection's a whole other bag of worms. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure I'm going to cover it in this video because I want to make sure you get the workflow stuff done. Okay, so I've got my opt-in form. Very cool. Come back here. There's my confirmation page. It finally showed up. I don't know what's going on. I promise you Highlevel is not normally like this, but it's Sunday. Highlevel hasn't had its coffee yet. So I have. You know why? Because automation is my superpower. So I'm going to go to my confirmation page. Again, I'm going to create from blank, and I'm going to make this dead simple. Why? Because you are going to come back and improve this over time. 1 column here, headline. Thanks for opting in. Check your email. Boo. Boo. Again, I'm going to just save it. I'm not going to deal with the meta information yet. Of course, when you have time, come back here into the meta information, add all your SEO information, and not worry about keywords, author, and social image. Add all that in when you have time. But again, you don't need it to get started. Okay? Again, you're building an MVP, Jenny. Okay? So let's come back over here. Oh, unsaved changes, whatever. Save again, just to be sure, in the upper right-hand corner. And now you've got the basics of a funnel right there, right? You've got the opt-in and you've got the confirmation. You could start running ads to this, assuming that you have the domain connected, right? But we're going to go one better. We're going to come down here to automations now, and we're going to create the automation that goes with this. I'm going to create a new workflow here. Again, start from scratch. There's so many things in Highlevel that are pre-done for you that you can use AI for. I'm very much a start from scratch kind of guy. Add new trigger. What's the new trigger, Jenny? It's that darn form we created here. Form submitted, and you have to pick which form. Otherwise, this would capture all forms. Under add filters, you're going to select form is my Jenny form. Sweet, sweet. Now, one of the things I like to do is to add notes and tags at the beginning of every single one of my automations so I can keep track of where things come in from and how my workflows are going. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to do right here is add a note, and this is going to be my form number, right? Submitted. That's going to basically remind me later how somebody got into this automation was that form right there, okay? Save that. I'm going to apply a very basic tag here. This tag is going to be lead from the Jenny ads. That's always good to know. And then I'm going to, let me see what would you say? So I want to send people to the site from YouTube, sign up for a free course. Okay, I'm going to assume in this case that this funnel is being used only for YouTube, okay? So right here, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to update my contact field. And I'm going to update my lead source because this is really good contact source. And I'm going to put YouTube here, okay? Obviously, you can capture UTM information from the Google ads that you're going to run, Jenny, but this is just another way of if this funnel is going to be used just for YouTube, why not hard code the contact source to YouTube right there? Save that. I'm also going to come up here and change my automation name. Automation, we're going to call this one Automation 9999 Jenny Opt-in. Okay, I like the number everything because it helps with documentation. And save in the upper right-hand corner. By the way, turn on publish right away. I don't know why that's not a default option, but whatever it is. Now let's, again, check over our project specs. I want to send people to the site from YouTube, sign up for a free course, and email unlock a lesson every day. Okay, to provide as little as resistance as possible, I am not going to get into the high-level course and lesson system, okay? I want that, again, to be as little resistance as possible. So I'm going to recommend in this case, you just send people to pages that have free lessons on them, require them not to log in. And then maybe when they buy something premium, we actually put them inside of a formal high-level course. But again, you know what? We're going for the bare bones minimum of functionality here, and to make it to provide as little resistance as possible, just maybe embed your YouTube videos or your videos on a page that anybody can get to, but you're not going to publish it. It's only going to be used in the funnel. So this comes to mind, and I'm like, I need my lessons. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second, the opt-in. I'm going to come back to my sites, and I'm just going to find a place where I can just create a page to dump some videos on there. So this one right here, I'm going to create a new website. Call this is my website 0001. No, we don't want one. We've got all those other ones. We'll call this one 9999. My Jenny lesson pages. These are my Jenny free lesson pages, okay? A website can have multiple pages. In this case, let's say each one of your pages is going to be one of your lessons. I'm going to add a new page here. We're going to call this Lesson 1. Don't have to worry about the path right now. That will be auto-created for us. And again, we went through this when building the funnel. Come in here at the page, maybe put the video, just do all the stuff where you build all this, maybe drop in the video right there. And then over here on the right-hand side, of course, you can have, if it's a YouTube video, you can put the link there. If it's one of these other ones, you can do all that. We're not going to get into the technicalities of that, okay? Publish this. You know what? We actually do have a domain connected here for me, so I'm going to associate that with my training or testing domain right there. And then that would be lesson 1. And so then, Jenny, what you can do is, come on, save. What you can then do is you can then grab that URL. So to preview this page right here, I'm going to click on that. And in my browser here, it grabbed lesson 1. Whoops, I misspelled it, but no big deal. But that's going to be important because I can copy that because I'm going to need that when I'm building the automation. Of course, here you can clone this page. So if you have 2 lessons or 200, you're going to have a page for each one. And now you know how to grab the URL. By the way, if you want to change anything about the website, like the domain or the main landing page of the website, you can do all that under settings. Okay. Now I'm going to hop back over to my automation because I need to put that URL in an email. Okay. So there's my Jenny opt-in automation. Gonna hop back over here and let's send an email. Send email. Oh, I'm gonna leave. I'm going to assume you've got your email default set up in Highlevel. If not, there's probably some videos on there about that. This is subject's gonna be congrats. Here is lesson 1. Hey, buddy, here is lesson 1. Click here to watch. Now, of course, Jenny, you're going to do Jenny magic and make this appropriate for you. Probably have some copy information in here about maybe after the 2nd or 3rd email, you're going to have some copy in there. Whoops, I got to figure out target. We're going to say new window. You're going to have some copy in there about selling the course, okay? And then maybe that is, let's document this. Email 1 of, let's say we're going to have 5 lessons, okay? Call that email 1 of 5. And then I'm going to wait a day, right? Wait days 1 right there, okay? And then you know the drill. Email 2, email 3, email 4. In the interest of speed, let's do a lot of that right now, okay? Come here, copy all actions from here. So I want to copy the email and the wait step, put it here. You know what? Let's just make this one 2 of 5. Okay? And I'm sure you're seeing where I'm going with this, Jenny. Do the same thing down here. You know what? Actually, I can do all 4 of these. Copy all actions from here. So I'm going to get all 4 steps. Bam. So I've got email 1 of 5, 2 of 5. And just to knock it out, let's do one more real quick. Copy actions from here. Email 1 of 5, 2 of 5. So let's modify this one to say 3 of 5. Whoops, 3 of 5. By the way, save early, save often. We have no idea when Amazon's going to go down next, right? This one's email 4 of 5. And this one is email 5 of 5. Of course, you're going to adjust each email and each headline separately on its own. And then what you're going to do, then there's all kinds of fancy things you can do. But right now, it's going to be just basically getting someone to go through all of these emails. I could put a goal at the bottom to pull people out if they purchase. There's all kinds of fancy things to do. But again, we're going for the MVP, which is Jenny and the minimum viable product. So workflows done for this version of it, okay? Now, how do we sell this freaking course? Okay, Jenny, come back over here to sites, funnels, and maybe what I might do is I might actually put it in the same funnel as the opt-in. So maybe over here we have another step. This step is the sales page for the course. Yeah, I like having all this in one funnel because then you can see the step-to-step progression. So that's going to be the sales page. This is going to be the order form. Maybe, you know what? Oftentimes I would put an upsell page here, Jenny, but again, let's go for the MVP. Come back and add the upsell later. This is going to be our order confirmation page. And let's focus on the sales page. You obviously understand now how you get these pages going. And then here, when you click on preview, you can see the page, or you can actually get the URL of the page. That's the easy stuff, okay? The most complicated part in this here is going to be the order form. So I'm going to create a new order form from blank. As you can tell, Patrick loves 2-column pages. So here is our 2-column page. I would add element. I would add the 2-step order form here. All of your order form options are down here at the bottom. add a two-step order form. I prefer the two-step over the one-step because in a two-step, if someone goes through step 1 and not step 2, you still capture them and you can follow up with them on an abandoned shopping cart kind of situation, okay? Lots you can do here on the right-hand side with customizing that order form. And notice here at the top, you can pick, let me see here, click on the order form, and you can down here at the bottom, you can go to step 1 or step 2, and you can customize both. I just realized something I forgot. So I'm going to, number 1, I'm going to publish this under that same test domain I had before, right? So I'm actually going to publish this. And again, you're going to do all kinds of customizations on the side with copy. Again, let's click on that column here and make that column top aligned. You're just going to, there's just all kinds of stuff here that you can do because I'm assuming you know how to sell a course because you sold courses on other platforms. If you don't want that coupon code there, I'm not a huge fan of coupons except for in certain situations. There are options here to remove those kinds of things off there. Here we go, example. Get rid of the coupon code right there. But I just remembered as I was putting this in, and this happens sometimes if I'm doing this stuff off the cuff, is that I don't have a product to sell. So I'm going to come over here into Highlevel. I'm going to go over into payments and products here at the top, and I'm going to add my product. My product is my Jenny $49 course. Okay. Copy that, put that down in the description. And down here, it's going to be a one-time charge of $49. Here's where you set all the settings of, you can have different price levels. You can add multiple prices for a given product. You can build one-time offerings or recurring offerings, things like that. But in the interest of MVP, this is Jenny's one-time $49 product. Okay, that's saved. Let's go back to the funnel and add the product. So there's Jenny's cool funnel. Products you usually add on the outside of the funnel, not in the editor. So I'm going to come here to my order form. Over here on the right-hand side with my columns, I'm going to click on products, and I'm going to add my product. I'm going to add my Jenny $49 course. It wants to know which price in case you have multiple prices. In our case, we only have one $49 course. Save that. And let's come back and take a look at our sales page. Our order form. We should be pretty close to being able to sell this. No, we got a lot of graphic design work here. So this is my company name. I should have taken that field off. Let's see. Go to step 2. I actually could have taken the shipping address stuff off also. Okay. I could have taken a lot of this stuff off. We're going to put in the company address. OKC 73112, and you know what, United States, oh, of course, is going to be way at the bottom. Okay, and I got to pick the state here. It doesn't really matter. That looks good. Go to step 2. Do I have a price on step 2? There you go. There it is. Okay, got a warning here because I put in some test data, but that's no big deal. There you go, Jenny. There's your $49 course. Okay, so you can do with that what you want. Obviously, you know how to build the course now. And now what do you do once you have the course and people start buying stuff? That's where we go back to automations, and we set up an automation to actually deliver the course, but the paid course materials in this case. So this is the part, Jenny, where you could do the same thing I did with the free videos. Once somebody buys the $49 course, you can just send them to a bunch of free open pages to get the content. Just don't share those pages publicly. Or you could actually build a course over here under memberships and courses, and then in the automation you can grant access to that course after they purchase. I'm going to run through a quick example of that because I want this video to just get you off and running off the ground, not to get into too deep of topics right now. So we're going to generate one more automation and then call it a day. So down here, where was my Jenny automation for the, okay, so Jenny opt-in, we're going to call this one 9998 for Jenny order. Okay, we're going to create a workflow, start from scratch. We're going to call this one AU 9998 handle Jenny order. Okay, and the way you do this is, again, the trigger is going to be the product that was ordered. So I'm going to come over here to my triggers and say order submitted. And we got to filter out by product. So the main product is the Jenny $49 course, And you could get more specific here if you wanted to. You could even filter by price, because if you had multiple prices, for example, and we'll say the price here is the $49 one, okay? And then again, I like to add notes. So I'm going to come here and I would add a note saying AU9998, so I know which automation it came from. Order placed for Jenny product, okay? And then from here, Jenny, what you would do is you would do the same thing you did before. You could, if you were just going to put the course on free open pages, just hidden pages, you could do the same thing we did in the other email where you send the emails out and then just link back to the pages. In your case, if you want to go more advanced, you could build the course over in the course section, and then what you could do right here is you could grant access to the course. So once the course is up and running, it's called course grant offer right here is what it is. The offer, so where Highlevel gets a little bit confusing. An offer is actually a course over in the course section. It's really weird terminology here. They call it an offer. So if I had built a Jenny course over there, now that someone purchased, I could do the $49 course purchase right here. Let's say it was this chat GPT. Let's say this was the Jenny course right here, okay? I could say grant access to that right there. And to tell you the truth, that's the MVP right there. Because what happens once you grant the course offer is Highlevel automatically sends the emails telling someone, hey, you've been invited to your course. Click here to set your login, user ID, and password, okay? And then once they log in, then they have access to the course. Or, like I said, you could go the other route and just put them on free open pages and then just link to those. Maybe, again, in the interest of MVP, you do it on the free open pages is where you offer the course material. And then once that's all up and running and you have the ads going, then you come back and iteratively improve this, okay? Let's get ready for the ads side. Let's verify that we are good to go for the ads. So let's go back to our sites. What was the funnel, right? And where are we going to run the ads? Right here. Okay, so this is our entire funnel from top to bottom, but ads are going to land right here. So let's pop this open, make sure this is okay. Yeah, ads are going to run right here. Both Facebook and Google will add the UTMs as long as you do the ad right on the ad side. And so the UTM information will be stored correctly on every single contact that comes in. And let's just test this on a very basic level. So I'm going to say Patrick Almond plus Jenny test1 at gmail.com. Get my full cool Jenny course, and let's go make sure that our funnel thing works as designed. Okay, so it's submitted. Let's go check our contacts. There we go. The Patrick Almond plus Jenny test. Notice that number one, the email was sent here, and I'm sure if I check my email, let me check my email in another window. I don't see it there yet, but it'll come in here shortly. Let's check my notes over here in the upper right-hand corner. Yeah, there's my contact created. That's actually something Patrick has built into his account by default. And then I have my form submitted right here. So that's all running okay. I got my email down here on the lower left-hand corner. My tags are applied. Again, ignore this newsletter daily tag. That's just something Patrick has built in by default. But I've got them tagged for lead Jenny ads right here. What automations am I in? Oh, I'm in the AU9999 Jenny opt-in automation, which means it's going to wait there until day 1, day 2, day 3. So that person's off and running. The goal of this, again, Jenny, was to give you an MVP, a minimum viable product, to get this up and running. So this should get you a good outline. There are a lot of different ways we could have done this. Highlevel has a lot of funnel templates, a lot of page templates and course templates and all that kind of stuff. But again, this should get you up and running. Best of luck. When you make your first $1 million, please come back and say, hey, Patrick helped me out. He's a pretty cool guy. Have a great day, Jenny, and anybody else who watches this video. We'll talk to you soon.